Ever wondered about the genesis of the rivalry between Bill Gates and Steve Jobs? Today, we delve into the roots. Our story begins with a company that goes by the name of Xerox. Emerging in the mid-20th century, Xerox was the darling of the tech world, a beacon of innovation and a harbinger of a new era. The company was not just a manufacturer of photocopiers, it was a technological powerhouse that spawned a revolution. Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center, or PARC, was a breeding ground for ideas that would forever change the landscape of computing. Now, let's rewind a bit and introduce two young, ambitious individuals into the mix. Bill Gates, a Harvard dropout with a passion for code, and Steve Jobs, a Reed College dropout with a knack for design. These two were destined to become the titans of the tech industry, but not before they crossed paths with Xerox. Bill Gates, in his early 20s, was already making waves with his company, Microsoft. He was not just a programmer, but a visionary who saw the potential of personal computing long before it became mainstream. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, Steve Jobs and his friend Steve Wozniak were busy in a garage, building what would become the first Apple computer. Jobs, like Gates, was a visionary, but his focus was on the intersection of technology and design. The paths of these two budding entrepreneurs intersected with Xerox in a way that would forever alter the course of their careers and the tech industry as a whole. Xerox, in its quest for innovation, had developed a graphical user interface, or GUI, a technology that would make computers more accessible and user-friendly. This technology caught the attention of both Gates and Jobs, who saw its potential and wanted a piece of the pie. So Xerox had the golden goose, but how did it end up in the hands of Jobs and Gates? Let's find out in the next chapter of our story. Imagine having a treasure chest and unknowingly handing over the key to others. This is the tale of Xerox. In the hustle and bustle of the Silicon Valley during the late 70s, two young entrepreneurs, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, were on the prowl for the next big thing. Little did they know that their search would lead them to the doors of Xerox, a company renowned for its innovations in photocopying technology. Xerox, at that time, had developed something extraordinary, a groundbreaking technology that would revolutionize the way we interact with computers. It was the graphical user interface, or GUI, a way for users to interact with a computer using images rather than text-based commands. It was the key to a treasure chest of endless possibilities. In an act of what can only be described as corporate generosity, or perhaps naivety, Xerox opened its doors to Gates and Jobs, revealing the GUI technology to them. The two young visionaries saw the potential of this technology and understood that it was the future of computing. Gates, the savvy businessman, took the idea back to Microsoft, where he incorporated it into his Windows operating system. Jobs, the creative genius, took the concept and made it the heart of Apple's Macintosh computer. Both Microsoft and Apple went on to dominate the personal computer market, riding on the wave of the revolutionary GUI technology. Meanwhile, Xerox, the rightful owner of the technology, struggled to commercialize it. They had handed over the key to their treasure chest, and now others were reaping the benefits. In the blink of an eye, Xerox's unique technology was no longer unique. The great heist had been pulled off, not in a dark alley, but in broad daylight, under the nose of the very creators of the technology. It was indeed a tale of lost opportunities and lessons learned the hard way. But the story doesn't end here. Stay tuned to find out what happened next in the world of tech giants and the legacy of Xerox. Two tech giants, one inspiration. The stage was set for a rivalry of epic proportions. In the world of tech, few rivalries are as legendary as that of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Born out of a shared spark ignited by Xerox's groundbreaking technology, their rivalry would go on to shape the tech world as we know it. Their relationship was complex and multifaceted, filled with respect and animosity, cooperation and competition, admiration and jealousy. Both visionaries in their own right, they saw the future of technology through different lenses. Gates, the methodical and strategic thinker, was focused on software. He envisioned a world where every desk would have a computer, and every computer would run Microsoft software. He was less concerned with the aesthetics and more focused on functionality and accessibility. On the other hand, Jobs, the creative and charismatic innovator, was obsessed with design and user experience. He believed that computers could be more than just functional tools. They could be beautiful, intuitive, and a joy to use. His vision was to make technology so seamless and intuitive that it would become an extension of the user, a natural part of their daily lives. This divergence in their visions led to a fierce competition. Gates was accused by Jobs of stealing the graphic user interface concept from Apple, which in turn had been inspired by Xerox. But Gates retorted that they both had a rich neighbor named Xerox, and he broke into his house to steal the TV, only to find out that Jobs had already stolen it. This rivalry, however, was not just the result of personal differences. It was a battle of ideologies, a struggle over the direction of technology. It was about whether technology should be a tool for the masses or an experience for the individual. These differing views led Microsoft and Apple down distinct paths, shaping their products, their philosophies, and their legacies. The tension between Gates and Jobs wasn't just the stuff of tech industry gossip. It was a driving force that propelled the industry forward. Their rivalry was more than just personal, it shaped the future of technology. While Gates and Jobs soared to new heights, where did that leave Xerox? The answer is perhaps a somber one. Xerox, the company that once stood at the forefront of the technological revolution, found itself struggling to keep pace with the rapidly changing landscape. Imagine you're at a racetrack. The crowd's cheering, the engines are roaring, and you're there, at the starting line, with a sleek, powerful machine. You've got the lead, the advantage. But just as the race begins, two contenders swoop in, overtaking you with unprecedented speed. That's what happened to Xerox. In the wake of the digital revolution, Xerox found itself increasingly sidelined. While Microsoft and Apple were sprinting ahead, Xerox seemed to be running on a treadmill, so to speak. Despite its efforts to innovate and diversify, the company was unable to regain the lead. The tech giants were not only faster, but they also had a clear direction, something Xerox seemed to lack. Fast forward to the present day, Xerox is no longer the behemoth it once was. The company's focus has shifted from pioneering new technologies to providing business services. It's a change of pace, certainly, but not necessarily a step backward. The company is still going strong, with a new vision and a new direction. But the question remains, what happened? How did a company that was once the beacon of innovation fall so far behind? The answer lies in the ability to adapt. While Xerox was holding on to the past, Microsoft and Apple were embracing the future. They saw the potential of what could be rather than what was. And in the world of technology, that makes all the difference. So where does that leave Xerox? Well, it's still in the race, albeit not in the pole position. The company has learned from its past and is focusing on carving out its niche in the market. It's not the ending that Xerox may have envisioned, but it's an ending that speaks volumes about the relentless pace of technology. Xerox, once a pioneer, was left in the shadows. How does Xerox view the tech titans that once borrowed from its innovations? That's a question that's been asked in various ways, and the answer is more nuanced than you might expect. In the world of technology, Xerox has continued to hold its own as a respected entity. It has seen Apple and Microsoft, the companies that once borrowed from its pioneering ideas, rise to become two of the biggest tech giants. Yet, there's no bitterness here. Xerox acknowledges the role it played in shaping the modern computing world, and it takes pride in that. From its point of view, Apple and Microsoft did what many companies do. They saw a promising concept, adapted it, and ran with it. Xerox, in hindsight, may have missed out on capitalizing on its own innovations, but it doesn't hold a grudge. Instead, it views this chapter of its history as a learning experience. This experience has resulted in significant changes in the way Xerox approaches innovation protection. Today, the company puts a much stronger emphasis on patenting its inventions. It understands that in the fast-paced world of tech, an idea left unprotected is an idea that could be adapted by others. Xerox has also refined its strategic focus. It's no longer just about innovating, but also about ensuring those innovations reach the market. The company has invested heavily in its marketing and business development sectors, ensuring that its inventions don't just stay within the confines of its labs. So, how does Xerox see Apple and Microsoft now? They're competitors, yes, but also reminders of what can happen when an innovative idea meets the right market strategy. Xerox might not have become the tech titan it could have been, but it's still here, still innovating, and still learning from its past. Xerox's tale is a reminder of the fine line between inspiration and imitation. It's a story that teaches us that innovation doesn't end with an idea. It's about protecting that idea, marketing it, and ensuring it reaches its full potential. So, what can we learn from this tale of tech titans and a fallen pioneer? Our journey through the annals of tech history has revealed a narrative of innovation, rivalry, and the exploitation of a pioneer's ideas. It's a saga that has left us with several noteworthy takeaways. Firstly, it's important to understand the value of your ideas. Xerox, in its early days, was a trailblazer, crafting concepts that would shape the future of computing. But the company failed to recognize the true potential of its own innovations. In contrast, visionaries like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates saw the immense value in these ideas, and they took them, redefining the tech landscape in the process. Secondly, safeguarding intellectual property is crucial. The story of Xerox is a stark reminder of the consequences that can befall innovators who fail to protect their ideas adequately. It's not enough to merely innovate. One must also defend their innovations from potential usurpers. Intellectual property laws exist to provide this protection, but they can only do so much. It's up to innovators to ensure they're not left vulnerable. Thirdly, execution is key. An idea, no matter how revolutionary, is just that, an idea. It's the implementation that makes all the difference. Both Apple and Microsoft took Xerox's ideas and executed them in ways that resonated with consumers, turning them into the tech giants we know today. Finally, adaptability is fundamental. The tech world is ever evolving, and those who fail to adapt risk being left behind. Xerox's inability to adapt to the changing landscape played a part in its downfall, while Apple and Microsoft's ability to evolve has ensured their continued success. This tale of tech titans serves as a cautionary tale for innovators everywhere. It underlines the importance of recognizing the value of your ideas, protecting your intellectual property, executing your ideas effectively, and adapting to an ever-changing landscape. In the world of technology, it's not just about having a great idea, it's about keeping it. We've journeyed through a riveting tale of rivalry, innovation, and lessons learned. In the dawn of a new era, two tech titans, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, emerged. Their relationship was as complex as the technologies they developed. They were friends and foes, pushing each other to the brink of innovation, while also engaging in a tug-of-war for supremacy in the emerging world of personal computing. We explored the great heist where Gates and Jobs, in their quest for success, took inspiration from Xerox's revolutionary idea of a graphical user interface and mouse. This theft of ideas sparked a wave of innovation that would forever change the trajectory of technology. It was the birth of a rivalry that would shape the tech world for decades to come. The aftermath of this rivalry was monumental. The world witnessed the birth of the Windows operating system and the Macintosh computer, both of which have left an indelible mark on the tech landscape. The rivalry between Gates and Jobs was not just about personal computing, it was also about philosophy, about how technology should be developed and who should have access to it. It was a clash of titans that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. From Xerox's perspective, the story is one of missed opportunities and lessons learned. Despite having the revolutionary ideas that would later shape the tech world, Xerox failed to capitalize on them. Today, Xerox is a fraction of what it once was, while Apple and Microsoft, the companies that borrowed from its ideas, have become tech behemoths. And what lessons have we learned from this tale? The importance of developing and protecting your ideas, for one. Innovation is not just about having groundbreaking ideas, it's also about having the foresight to see their potential and the tenacity to bring them to fruition. It's about recognizing that in the world of technology, the line between inspiration and theft can often blur, and that it's crucial to safeguard your ideas. The Gates-Jobs rivalry has had a profound impact on the tech industry. It spurred a wave of innovation and competition that continues to this day. It served as a reminder that in the world of technology, the race is not always to the swift, but to those who can see the future and are bold enough to chase it. And so, we close the chapter on this tale, but the lessons it teaches remain ever relevant. The story of Gates, Jobs, and Xerox is a testament to the power of ideas, the importance of innovation, and the enduring impact of rivalry. It's a story that continues to shape the tech world, reminding us that in the race for innovation, the journey is just as important as the destination.